Well, hello everyone. It's great to be back on YourTV for another update from the city of Belleville. And this week's update is for the week of April the 19th. And I am coming to you today from the lobby on the 4th floor of Belleville City Hall. If you've ever been here before, you know there are 4 stories here at City Hall. And on the 4th floor is my office, the office of the Chief Administrative Official, which is the top bureaucrat in the city, the top city employee. And on the other side of a beautiful open space is Belleville City Council chambers. And last week I did an update from inside there where we're doing renovations currently. And so if you've been up here, you'll be well familiar with the area, and it gives you a little background. Over my right shoulder, you can see the model of Belleville City, the Belleville City Hall, which was an award-winning, an award given to architect Bill White. Bill White was the person in charge of the renovations back in 1989, and he won an award from the Architectural Society of Ontario, recognizing the preservation of the original building in that renovation. And the original Belleville City Hall was built in 1871. And as I said, it was renovated in 1989 and has served us very, very well since it was first done. And it's nice to have this award that was presented to Bill here at City Hall, and we appreciate it. On my left shoulder, which is right on the screen that you have there, you will see a number of pictures, and those are pictures of former mayors of the city of Belleville. We have had 75 mayors before me, and we have their pictures on the wall here to symbolize or to recognize their service, but also the service of them and their councils. And I will talk a little bit more about that at the end of today's video when we talk about Maclean's magazine and some news we've got there. But when we go back now to the situation of COVID and we deal with this week, on Monday this week, the update was 5 new cases for our region, bringing us down actually, because we had some recoveries, bringing us down to 102 active cases in the region. We have about 224 variants of concern, and variants of concerns are the change in the COVID-19 virus. We call them mutations typically, and so we have 224 variants of concern in cases in our region, and it is a little different than it was last year. These variants of concern, but we are making some good progress. Currently, at the beginning of this week, we had 12 people in hospital, of which 4 were in the intensive care unit. 1 was on a ventilator, and these 5 new cases on Monday brought us to a total of 815 cases since the very beginning. And unfortunately, we also had another fatality. So that brings us to 8 deaths since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, and our sympathies go out to the family and the friends of the person who passed away. On the bright side, we also now had on Monday 51,678 total vaccinations administered, total doses of vaccines, and that includes 3,534 people who got their second dose. So in our healthcare region, fully 2% of the population have gotten both doses, and 30% have been vaccinated with their with one dose. So that's really great news. We're making really good progress. This week, starting on Tuesday, folks that are 40 years of age and older can get the AstraZeneca vaccine in pharmacies. And so I would encourage you to go to the Shoppers Drug Mart website. You can register to be on the list for vaccinations. I did that myself, and I can tell you it is very, very easy, and they will contact you when a spot opens up. But we now have many more vaccinations occurring in our region, not just with the health unit, but also with our drugstores. So when you have a chance to get vaccinated, I really encourage you to do so. It is the #1 thing that we can do as we to get out of the situation with COVID-19. And in the meantime, I'll just remind you, like I do every week, I know I sound like a broken record, but the 3 W's that you can do to try to prevent the spread of COVID in our region. #1 is wash your hands. #2 is to wear a mask when you're indoors or when you cannot. Watch your distance, which is the 3rd W. So your cooperation has been amazing. Keep up the great work, and we certainly appreciate it. This is National Volunteer Week, and I know YourTV has been promoting the folks who volunteer for them and to recognize them. But we have thousands and thousands of people in our city who are volunteers, active volunteers, not just during the pandemic, but also prior. And they're looking forward to getting back involved. And so many of our really important organizations rely and depend upon volunteers. So we want to take a moment and recognize everybody that volunteers in whatever way you do. We want to say thank you so very much. You're great, and you make Belleville the great community that it is. I'm not sure how I really should address this. Like last week, we had some additional announcements from the province of Ontario, and then we had some changes. You may recall that last Friday, the province of Ontario, made some additional restrictions. And then by Saturday, they had made some changes to them. So I just want to clarify for everybody that the playgrounds in the city of Belleville are open, and even though the province had said they were going to be closed to the public, they are allowing them to be open. So all of our playgrounds are open. We encourage everyone to be careful if they have children that are using it, but all of our parks, our playgrounds, our paths, we're not allowed to permit organized sports going on. And then so you are restricted to social gathering of no more than 5 people, and they must also be within the same household, unless you have a person who is all by themselves and they're allowed to interact with one household, and it's in those 5 numbers. Also, I want to clarify, because there was some suggestion that the police would be doing random stops of people to ask where you are and where you're going. The Belleville Police Service clarified on Saturday that they will not be doing random checks. They will be stopping people if they have probable cause. So if they believe the person is committing an offense, or if they're doing a regular stop, they can now ask people those questions, but they won't be going out and doing this. And in addition, our bylaw enforcement staff will also not be going out and randomly stopping people and demanding to know where they're going and where they're from. We will continue to operate on the complaint-based system that we have been throughout this whole pandemic. But I just wanted to sort of bring people up to speed on that, because I know there was quite a lot of controversy, and the provincial government did change their plans for that, and it's good. What I've got right now here is the most recent edition of Maclean's magazine. And Maclean's, as you know, is our national magazine. And this is the May edition. And in there is the ranking of best places to live and work in Canada. And this year, the city of Belleville is number 4. And this is a great accomplishment for us, and it's wonderful recognition of what we all know, which is what a wonderful place we live in. And basically, there were 450 communities across the country that were considered for this. In 2019, Belleville ranked 127. And since then, we have gone up to number 4. And there were 9 categories that Maclean's used to score or to judge communities: housing affordability, taxes as a proportion of family income, crime statistics over the last 5 years, weather, the number of days above 20 degrees Celsius, health, and I'm talking about specialists, doctors' offices and hospitals, amenities such as restaurants, bars, and proximity to airports, population growth, community engagement, and internet quality. And sometimes we hear people who complain, and some of those services that we have are not the same for the entire city. For example, we have some parts of the city that really need some improvement in their internet quality, but we also have parts of the city that are getting amazing internet quality because of the investments of Bell Canada and Bell 5 and Cogeco and their high speed. And so what I would say is this is wonderful news for us, not just for us now, but those that have come before us that have made our community what it is today. And we just celebrate this. We're going to still work hard to make sure that we are ranked well next year as well. But this is a great validation for those of us who really love where we live and recognize that we're one of the best communities. And now Maclean's magazine has ranked us as number 4 in all of Canada. So it is great to live in such a wonderful place. And the last thing I want to talk about today is another wonderful organization, relies a lot on volunteers, but also has some amazing people that help residents in our community. It's the Community Living Mayor's Challenge golf tournament, which is scheduled for June the 1st. Last year, we had to take a little break because of COVID, but here is a picture of myself with a Lexicon board members, Murray Angus and Doug Parker, as well as community living volunteers and staff and Lexicon energy staff, making a presentation of a check to cover towards the golf tournament. The city of Belleville is the reigning champions of the Mayor's Challenge. And in 2019, we won that tournament, I'm really proud to say. And so we're defending our title this year. But what an amazing organization. And we were happy to help. And we're happy to see Lexicon, our electricity supplier in the region, also making a contribution to this very, very worthy organization. So if you're interested, there's information on the Community Living website. Here is the website address on the screen. I encourage you to go there, and you can find out information about not just about the Mayor's Challenge, but all of the activities of community living and the programs they do to support people in our community and make it a wonderful place that we live in. So with that, I am going to sign off for this week. Thank everybody at YourTV again for giving me this opportunity to communicate messages directly to you, the residents of Belleville. And if you have any questions or any comments or any concerns, you can feel free to contact me through my City Hall office. All the best.